Hello nerds and nerdettes, and welcome back to the channel where once again we have a new video for you guys. Today we will be going over my top 10 most essential buys for the month of October 2023. This is a list I do pretty much every coming month that I go over 10 releases or books that I'm the most excited about in order from 10 to 1 being least excited to most excited. And this is mainly for those of you watching to keep track of releases as well as for me to keep track of releases as well. But before we jump into the list, a quick reminder that if you are looking for any of the books I'm about to mention, or any of the books that I've featured on the channel, to use the channel sponsor organicpricebooks.com. Use the discount code STAYNERDY for $2 off your order, or when ordering 3 or more books, you can use the code STAYNERDY, ship it together, to get 5% off that order. Also, for my manga lovers, I am a Right Stuff affiliate, so if you'd like to support the channel when ordering from Right Stuff, you can go into the description and use my affiliate link. Both the affiliate link and the OPB code are great ways to help support the channel, and every little bit matters, and I'm thankful for any of you that decide to contribute. But without further ado, let's jump into my most essential releases, starting with, of course, number 10. Quick disclaimer, like always, if you see me looking down, I do have my iPad in front of you guys. But starting at number 10, we do have Marvel Zombies Return the Omnibus. This does have a release date of October 24th, a cover price of $125, and a page count of 976 pages. This is not super great stuff by any means, nothing critically acclaimed, very reminiscent to the Marvel Zombies Omnibus, even though I love it because it's Marvel superheroes and zombies combined. It's not great content, it's just fun content. But this does return to that Marvel Zombies universe, and you really get to see more minis and one-shots expand that world slightly, as much as they can at this point. There's nothing super awesome in this omnibus, if I'm being honest. The Marvel Zombies Destroy and the Marvel Zombies Resurrection are probably the two things I'm the most excited for, because I did think those titles were a lot of fun. But still, if you like Marvel Zombies, you're probably going to like this. I like zombies and superheroes, which is why I'm picking it up, but that is why it's at my number 10 spot. So now we can go ahead and jump to number 9. And coming in at number 9 is Alpha Flight by John Byrne, the Omnibus. This does have a release date of October 24th, a cover price of $125, and a page count of 1,248 pages. This is the title that was created after the introduction of Alpha Flight in the X-Men comics. This is a Canadian super team where pretty much John Byrne gets to just have fun with his creations. You do have, I want to say, maybe not all, but a decent amount of writing and artwork by John Byrne. This is some critically acclaimed stuff. This was pretty groundbreaking for comics at the time. It's still a well-regarded run in comics and a run on Alpha Flight. A lot of what he did during this particular run was very impactful and very character defining for the team of Alpha Flight, at least. Looking at you, Guardian, and what takes place with that character. But still, definitely some essential reading if you're a John Byrne fan. It's John Byrne at his best, or what some regard as his best. So definitely in my top 10 for sure. I'm not a huge Alpha Flight fan, but if you're going to get any Alpha Flight content, this is the omnibus to pick up, and it's definitely worthy of a spot in the top 10. But that wraps up number 9, so let's jump to number 8. Number 8 is going to be the Star Wars Legends Omnibus, The Empire Volume 2. I don't know what the correct way of describing that is. This has a release date of October 31st, a cover price of $125, and a page count of 1,032 pages. This collects more Empire-related titles and content. The main reason I'm collecting it is because I do have Volume 1, and I did enjoy all of the content in Volume 1, and because this does have Darth Vader-related titles and miniseries. So you are going to have more Darth Vader content. If you're a fan of Darth Vader, like I am, then you're probably going to want to pick it up, even though it's Legends material. And for those of you that are not aware, Legends is pretty much non-canon comic books. It's pretty much any of the content that Dark Horse wrote when they had the rights to Star Wars. So Marvel is still collecting these in omnibus format, but you are getting a Legends title attached to it. But this is still Empire-related stuff. If you like the dark side and the Sith-related elements of Star Wars, then this is something you may want to pick up. It's definitely something I'm interested in. I love the Legend stuff, and I love the canon stuff. I think the Legend stuff usually gets a bad rap, but you do have some pretty good stuff throughout that kind of era, but still depends on if you want canon stuff or non-canon stuff, or if it even matters to you. But that does wrap up number 8, so we can jump into number 7. Coming in at number 7 is another Star Wars Omnibus, which is Star Wars The High Republic Omnibus Phase 1, or Star Wars The High Republic Phase 1 Omnibus. I'm not exactly sure how that's being described either. We do have a release date of October 17th, a cover price of $100, which seems pretty low, but that's because of the page count, which is 544 pages. This does take place all before the Skywalker saga, so anything that took place in the movies, or the Jason Aaron Star Wars run, or the Darth Vader runs by Gillen and Soule, this all takes place much before any of that takes place. And this is really where you're going to see the Jedi at their peak, and the Jedi lore really being built upon now in the canon lore, which is definitely something that I feel like a lot of us have been asking for to take place in canon. Because obviously in the Legends we had the Old Republic content that really expanded that side of Star Wars, but we haven't really got anything like that contributed to the Disney/Marvel side of Star Wars that they are now rebuilding. So it is pretty exciting that this is being collected in an omnibus, and I can read it completely throughout. I have read scattered issues of this particular title, but not every single title or every single issue, because this was coming out when I was into the collected editions game, so it wasn't exactly something that I was picking up weekly or anything like that. But super excited to check it out. It's definitely a title that a lot of us have been asking for, but it is cool to see, once again, another modern and more recent title getting the omnibus format treatment. But that does wrap up number 7, so we can jump into number 6. Number 6 is going to be 30 Days of Night, Deluxe Edition, Volume 1, or I think it's just the Deluxe Edition. I've seen both. This does have a release date of October 10th, a cover price of $34.99, and a page count of 464 pages. I'm mainly picking this up because I am a huge fan of the movie. It was very dark and gritty and post-apocalyptic feeling, which if you guys are a longtime viewer of the channel, you know I'm a huge fan of. Honestly, a lot of the releases during October had that vibe, so it was kind of hard to narrow down this top 10. But this pretty much follows a town in Alaska, I believe, that is taking place during the month of no sun, and vampires pretty much overtake the town, and that it's some pretty gruesome and gritty stuff. The vampires are not any Twilight vampires by any means. There's no sparkling skin throughout this book or in the movie. It's some pretty intense stuff, and I definitely recommend the movie, and I'm excited to check it out in a comic book format. I am a huge fan of post-apocalyptic horror and gruesome kind of stories like this. That's why I love zombies so much, and this is definitely up my alley, so I'm excited to jump into it. But that does wrap up number 6. I don't have too much to say about it because I haven't read it, but I have watched the movie. But still, let's go ahead and jump into number 5. The first book in the top 5, coming in at number 5, is Captain Marvel, Genis Val by Peter David, the Omnibus. This has a release date of October 10th, a cover price of $150, which we see very rarely, but it does have a page count that I found at least of 1,400 pages. Let me know if any of my page counts are wrong. I kind of scour around and try to find what I can. This is all written by the king of 90s comics, in my opinion, which is Peter David. This does follow Genis Val, who is the son of the original Captain Marvel, Marvel, or Marvel. I don't know why I'm saying Val. But you do get to follow that character, Genis Val, pick up the mantle of Captain Marvel, and there's a 90s twist on just the entire comic book. It's super 90s and bombastic, everything you'd come to expect from a Peter David written comic book, especially taking place during the 90s. The character of Genis Val is a not a well-known character, but a character that has been in the Marvel Universe for a while before picking up the mantle of Captain Marvel. So it is pretty interesting that they return to that character and give him a much more important and impactful role, especially to his legacy of his father, which is funny enough because Legacy was his superhero name before he became Captain Marvel. So if you know that character, then that's who we're getting here. But not too much to say about it. It's 90s comics. It's Captain Marvel kicking ass. It's a new and different feeling to the character of Captain Marvel, and it's the continuation of a mantle from father to son, which is always pretty impactful and awesome to read about. But that does wrap up number 5, so we can jump into number 4. Coming in at number 4, which is pretty interesting because this is the first time manga has made it into my top 10, or my top 5 rather, which is Blade of the Immortal, the Dark Horse Deluxe Edition, Volume 10. This has a release date of October 17th, a cover price of $50, which is the same price as all of the deluxe editions, and a page count of 704 pages. This is the 10th and final volume to finish out Blade of the Immortal in the deluxe editions. Cannot believe we finished it. It is so awesome that we did. I've been riding with these Dark Horse Deluxe editions since they were first created and released, so I feel like I've been through a journey. And I feel like I've honestly been through a journey with Blade of the Immortal, first initially hating it and not enjoying it by any means, and now it being in my top 5 favorite manga series of all time. Such a great series. Manji and Rin are such great characters. The world that they're in is just so gritty, dark, yet real at the same time, and just such an incredible title. I cannot recommend this enough to manga readers if you haven't read it, and comic book readers. This has so many notes similar to that of Wolverine. The fighting and even the art, the aesthetics of the art are very similar to that of comic books. So if you haven't read it and you're a comic book fan, then definitely check it out. It does read left to right rather than traditional manga right to left, so it should be a very easy transition. So do yourself a favor and please check it out. But that does wrap up number 4, so we can jump into number 3. Coming in at number 3, as much as this hurts me to have it in my top 3, the Super Sons Super Duper Edition Omnibus. What a ridiculous name. This does have a release date of October 31st, a cover price of $125, and a page count of 1,056 pages. I cannot believe this is going to be the third time they've expanded this, or the second time they've expanded it, but the third time they've printed it. There are 3 printings in total at this point once this comes out. Any of those will do you fine. You do not need to upgrade like the idiot that I am. But the main reason that I am upgrading is because of the added content, which is the Challenge of the Super Sons, and most of all, the design of the book. As dumb as that sounds, I love the new spine, I love the new cover, and I love the new color scheme. And that's honestly the selling point for me. I haven't triple dipped at this point. I only have the expanded edition, but I will be double dipping technically. I guess triple dipping if you're counting single issues also. But I am going to be dipping into this super duper expanded omnibus, whatever the ridiculous name it is. But definitely check out Super Sons if you haven't. Get the first printing or the expanded edition or this one, whatever. Just make sure you read it because it is such great stuff. Peter J. Tomasi on writing. You get some incredible art throughout by Jorge Jimenez, which is one of my favorite recent or modern artists, and he absolutely kills it. but this does follow Jonathan Kent, Superman's son, and Damian Wayne, Batman's son, becoming a team pretty much, and you really get to see them grow and flourish and become their own heroes in a way. And it is such a great title. It is one of those essential modern reads, especially with the massive roles that Damian and Jonathan are kind of creating in the DC universe at this point. So definitely some important reading here, but get any of the printings. I don't think you need this one or the expanded edition. It doesn't add that much, but I'm going to upgrade, so it is what it is. I guess I'm a sucker for that, but that does wrap up number 3, so let's jump into number 2. Which number 2, I'm sure most of you saw coming, is going to be Thor by Jason Aaron, the Omnibus Volume 2. This does have the release date of October 24th, a cover price of $150, and a page count of 1,368 pages. This is finishing up Jason Aaron's run on the character of Thor. This does include War of the Realms, so you are going to have that event included. You're going to have the King Thor stuff, which is really good stuff as well. War of the Realms is hit or miss for most readers, but if you like that event, it's included. You can maybe get rid of that War of the Realms omnibus unless you want the tie-ins. But Jason Aaron's run on Thor is a very acclaimed, highly acclaimed run on the character of Thor. A lot of people say it's one of the, if not the best run on Thor, probably only rivaled by Walt Simonson's run. So definitely some important reading here once again. This is where you're going to see Jane Foster Thor and Thor kind of share the mantle of Thor in a way, and kind of the outcome of Jane Foster's story as well. Definitely some good stuff here. I love Jason Aaron as a writer, really, in general. And I definitely enjoyed his run on Thor, always have. I do think the first volume performs better than the second volume, but still, I'm going to want to complete the run in omnibus format. I can't halfway do it. That's not how my brain functions, but still, check it out, especially if you like that first volume. You know, this continues that run, so might as well dive in and see the climax and the ending of that particular run. But that does wrap up number 2, so let's finish up with number 1. Coming in at number 1, which you guys probably expected this as well, Captain America, Trial of Captain America, the Omnibus. This has a release date of October 11th. This has a cover price of $100 and a page count of 928 pages. This is Ed Brubaker's run on Captain America, his acclaimed run on Captain America. This is technically Omnibus or book 4 out of 5. And this is also the only one that I'm missing in that set. So once I pick this up, I will have all of Ed Brubaker's Captain America run in omnibus format, which Captain America, being my favorite Marvel character, is a must. So I'm sure a lot of you probably saw this appearing in my top 10, probably my number 1, which here it is. Obviously, Ed Brubaker's run on Captain America is highly acclaimed as well. Arguably a lot of people's favorite run on Captain America. Only really rivaled by probably Grimold, so that's just how impactful of a story it is. This is the run where you're going to see the return of Winter Soldier or Bucky, or, sorry, we're staying away from spoilers here, return of a major character, the change of the character who has the mantle of Captain America, and that character's background and history kind of circling back and affecting him in a way, which is what this book covers, and then the eventual return to norm, if you will. So definitely really good stuff here. Ed Brubaker's run on Captain America is 100% worth the read, and if you're a Captain America fan like me, then it's obviously one you're going to want to pick up, especially if you have to finish up that set of omnibuses like I do. So definitely rightful for that number 1 spot, and super excited to get it. But that does wrap up my top 10. But that does wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you guys. Comment down below, let me know what your top 10 is, your top 5, maybe even your top 3, or maybe your number one most anticipated, because I'd love to hear what you all are excited for or what you feel like I'm sleeping on. I do have a couple honorable mentions, which is Wasted Spaces, the complete saga, iZombie, the omnibus, The Nice House on the Lake, the deluxe edition, Baby Teeth, the complete series omnibus, Phantom Road, We Only Find Them When They're Dead, and Sergeant Rock versus the Undead. So those are some other titles that I am excited for, but didn't make it into my top 10. But still, let me know what you guys are excited for. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you guys, so feel free to let me know. Also, a quick reminder that October is going to be pretty heavy when it comes to some events in my personal life. So content and interaction is going to slow down quite a bit. I am going to try and get some type of content out for you guys to enjoy, but I do want to formally apologize to you guys and let you know so you can kind of expect it in this coming month. So I do apologize for that. Thank you for being understanding, and a reminder as always that if you are not a part of the Illuminati, hit that subscribe button to join the community. If you could also do me a favor and hit that thumbs up icon, it's a little gesture that means a lot to us on the channel. And if you did enjoy today's video and you want notifications for when this channel puts out content, hit that bell icon. That way you can get notified. But thank you for watching. Thank you for understanding about the month of October. And of course, as always, stay nerdy.